Right. Hello guys, welcome back to Some Crypto. In today's content, we're going to talk about BTC, and we're also going to talk about ADA on a higher time frame, and what type of price action we could anticipate from the ADA bulls or even bears, right? Regarding the macro structure, support, resistance, Fibonacci, moving averages, and all that good stuff. We're going to talk about ADA in details, right? So we're going to be ready for the next swing either to the upside, guys, or to the downside, right? Depending if you're bullish on ADA or if you're bearish on ADA, right? So if you're new to our content, don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to join my public Telegram group, link in the description. And all that good stuff. You can also join the Discord premium or public group, link in the description, and all that good stuff, right? So BTC, guys, we talked about BTC yesterday. Okay, we needed to basically regain the daily 21 EMA. Let's go ahead and take a look at BTC. So on a daily basis, we got a nasty dump right on the daily. That's not good at all. Okay, it is it just wiped out all the bullishness we had over the last 3 days. Okay, we got 3 white soldiers pattern right here, and I was like, guys, let's just be cautious. Even though we got a beautiful setup right here, we just got a beautiful juicy dump to the downside, right? It is okay on the lower degree. It is not that bad, right? Because you could have anticipated it, right, on the hourly basis, right? That's why it is very important to basically be paying attention to the hourly divergences, right? Especially on our MACD. As you can see right here, we did have a nice let's remove this, nice bearish divergence right there. Okay, so we anticipated early this morning, right? When I woke up, I was like, okay, we got a divergence right here, so we most likely going to be retesting the support area right here. Okay, so right there. Okay, so that's what I was anticipating. So we shorted it just about 33.6, 33.8 range, all the way down to the 32.4 support. Okay, right now we broke the support area, and if you take a look at it, the reason why we did not break the 31.2, it is nothing but our 0.618. Okay, so I wasn't aggressive enough to wait for 0.618. I just wanted to basically get out at support right here, but we did dump all the way down to like a 0.618, and right now we're making another correction right here in a 3-way move. It is a flat correction, so we're gonna have to watch our hourly basis. Okay, so hourly 21 EMA going to be our immediate resistance. Our once again, hourly 100 EMA just about 33.3, 33.5 range. So keep an eye on the hourly basis. No sort of bullishness yet on the hourly basis. The only thing we got right now, it is a potential bullish divergence right here, right? But MACD just crossing bullish, so it could spend some time right here. Okay, we could spend some time right here, meaning we could still get a double bottom potentially, right? So still need to wait for a potential short-term trade on the hourly basis and all that good stuff. But one of the most important, guys, in this bear market, right, it is going to be your divergences, right? Either bullish or bearish. Okay, because volatility is going to be low. It's not going to be it's not going to be pumping 40%, 50% all the time and all that good stuff, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat room. Hey, what's up, Hank? Thanks a lot for tuning in, right? So pay attention to your bearish divergences, right? And all that good stuff. It is gonna help you a lot not to FOMO, right? Even if you basically long BTC, right there. Let's say you longed it. Let's say you short BTC right here, just by a 32.7, right? And sucker pump to the upside. You're gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna be panicking, right? I got a bearish divergence right here. The worst case scenario is it pumps a little bit and then drop right back down to my entry. You see what I'm saying? So pay attention to your these indicators, especially on your MACD. It is one of the most important indicator, especially on the lower degree and all that good stuff. Because we did not get one on our RSI. So if you were waiting for the RSI, you're not going to be basically you're not going to be you're not going to be bearish right here, okay, or even like right here after we break below the 211 EMA. Okay, so whenever you get the bearish divergence, right, on the hourly, wait for price action to break below the 211 EMA to get a stronger confirmation. Okay, and basically at the same time get a a bearish crossover on your MACD. All right, so bearish crossover, on your MACD, price action below the 211 EMA, bullish, bearish divergence right here. That's going to be a potential 80% short trade, right? So, and that's exactly what we did right here. As soon as I woke up, I saw this sucker like that. I was like, man, we're going down, bang. Okay, so let's go back to the daily basis, right? So daily basis, we lost control, of the last 24 hours, right? So that's not good at all in terms of like a trend, in terms of a trend reversal. What we're looking for is like a potential break above the 21 EMA to regain control, at least in the short term. If we basically break above the 21 EMA, over the next like a few days, we're going to be looking for the 100 EMA right here. Okay, the 100 EMA, it is just about like a 42.810, okay, on a daily basis. But once again, we got to regain control of the daily 21. All right, so that could happen at any given time, right? On the downside, bears, still in high, on the high time frame, they're still in control, except the 2-day time frame. As we said, let's go ahead and review the 2-day time frame, right? What we're saying is like, on a 2-day basis, we dropping, but we're dropping with lower volume. So the volume is not that high at all, okay, right here. So we just been reaccumulating, right? So low volume on the sell side, a quite good volume though. It's not great, but it is good enough to basically give bears some trouble, just in case bear bulls decide to pump to the upside and retest the daily 100 EMA or the 2-day 100 EMA just by like a 40 to 42k. It is going to be a major resistance right here, okay, both on the 2-day basis and on the daily basis, right there. So it is going to be a crucial range to watch. Okay, on the weekly basis, we already know weekly 21 EMA. If you take a look at the weekly 21 EMA, it is just about like what, 41.608. So everything is basically playing out perfectly in terms of like a resistance. Daily 100 EMA, weekly 21 EMA, and 2-day 100 EMA, all of them, averaging just about like a 41.2, 41.5 range. All right, so on the downside, on the weekly basis, we already know what we're looking for on the downside. If we break the 32k, we know exactly the 25k 100 EMA, it is going to be the temporary support right here. Okay, just about like a it is exactly right now at 24,316. So keep an eye on 24,316. But once again, price action don't basically care about like exact number. If the volatility is high, it might not even retest it. It might just dump down to like a 25k. If the volatility is high enough, it could dump below it. But you get the point, right? Average just about like a 25k, right? So we're still in range. We're still in range on the weekly basis, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a high time frame again. Hey, what's up, Jude Moonboy, XRP 589? Thanks a lot for tuning in. So on a high time frame, we're going to take a look at it on a 3 weeks basis. The 3 weeks chart, at the same time, right, it is pretty bearish. As we said on the way up, what we said was like sucker was pretty bullish. Okay, we were pretty bullish on the way up, no tails at all. Okay, once we start making this type of like a bearish pattern, we automatically gonna know like we in a potential downtrend. and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So it is a good indicator both on you know, weekly and also on a 3 weeks basis, okay, even on a monthly. But the monthly Heiken Ashi could basically be you know, be lagging and could give you like a very low prices to exit, right? But if you basically just check the weekly or 3 weeks time frame, you know, we're not basically looking good at all in you know, on a macro view, right? So same thing as the regular candle, the macro support on the Heiken Ashi, same thing, weekly 100 EMA in the short term, and after that we're going to take a look at what we're going to get after that, right? If we break below it, it is okay. We still got some macro support below 25k. Most likely bulls going to be showing up, but once again, we've been dropping like since when? Since like April, May, June, July, right? So almost like 90 days. So you know, we gotta get a potential you know, we gotta get a short-term reversal, you know, in the short term, right? So if you go back in 2018, after what, after 90 days, right? Let's see if we did get some sort of a pullback. Yep, after 90 days right here, wasn't that strong though, but right here after 90 days we were still dropping, but we did get the you know, the pullback right here just about like after 100 days, right, give or take. We got the pullback back to like 10k. All right, so and the first pullback we got was like after 56 days, right? We got a nice bump to the upside again, right? Drop 56 days, right? And got a nice 100% move. You know, double up right here, just about like 112, and basically get another 50% move. Do you see what I'm saying? So right now, if we take a look at it, right, we're not pumping at all, right? And we down like for just about like 70 days, right? So 70 days, not 90 days. Okay, so we down like 70 days. Okay, we've been dropping like for 70 days, right? So it is quite a lot. Okay, accumulation at the top was like right here, not accumulation, but you would call it like distribution, right? Right here was like almost 90 days, right? So Crypto Elf, thanks a lot for tuning in. We're gonna talk about Cardano, man, and all that good stuff, man. Cardano to $1 million, right? All right. So BTC macro view, it is still bearish, right? Still need a daily reversal before we talk about like a macro bull trend. Can we pump to the upside? Once again, we still got like a resistance at 40k to 42. So wouldn't be surprised at all if you know, bulls give us a you know, a nasty pump where everybody gonna be calling for, oh, we broke above the weekly 21 EMA, right now we going back to the moon and all that good stuff, right? So so now let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano. So Cardano, we're gonna start off with the high time frame, right, on a 3 weeks basis. So Cardano on a 3 weeks basis on the Heiken Ashi, you know, momentum, you know, been shifting to the downside. I mean, on the side, I mean, not to the downside, but been moving like sideways, been shifting slowly. And you can see like all of a sudden we're starting to get some bearishness right here. That's the first bearish, you know, 3 weeks candle. It is going to close just about like, you know, mid-July and so on, right? But we will see what we're going to get. If we drop down to this level, we're going to be looking for the 3 weeks 21 EMA in terms of like a moving average, in terms of moving averages, right? We're going to be looking for the weekly, you know, the 3 weeks 21 EMA just about like 76, okay, 76 right here. But if you take a look at it on a weekly basis, we could be looking for the 83 right here, right, which is like our weekly 50 EMA, right, and our weekly 100 EMA just about like a 53. Okay, so I would say like average support for the bull is gonna be just about like 65 in this range. Okay, it could wick down to the weekly 100 EMA, but we will see. Most alt already retested their weekly 100 EMA, except ADA, Ethereum, and a few other alt, right? But mostly, most of the alt already dumped down to the weekly 100 EMA, right? Even I think Litecoin did, right? So keep an eye on ADA, just about like this range of 60 to 85 for the next like trading range. That could be our next like reaccumulation or bull flag, bear flag, whatever you want to call it. Before the next like either reversal or a continuation, right? We will take a look at it once we get to that level, right? If not, we got a resistance level at 178. If we break above 178, we're going to take a look at it on a daily basis. So on the daily basis, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for a potential break above resistance right here, 172, 178. That could potentially, change the trend, because price action going to break above the daily 21 EMA. Most likely MACD going to flip bullish, and we could look for like a retest of all-time high. That could potentially be a it could be a very, very challenging a very challenging task for the bulls, but they can do it. Okay, we will just have to wait and see. But I'm betting on the downside. If it drops right here, that's going to be a good buy range. If it goes up to like 78, that could be a very, very tough range to break, right? All crypto dump hard. 88.20 cents. I mean, there is a target for, I got a target for 20 cents, but it is too early. Not sure if we're gonna get there anytime soon. So I don't want to talk about like 20 cents when we at like $1.20. Okay, if you're trading on the macro view, yes, you could wait for your, I mean, we still talking about the macro, but we're talking about like swings, right? You could wait for the 0.618 right here, just about like a 20 to a 28 cents right there. That's the 0.618, right? But in the short term, right, short to a medium term, right, we could be looking for the 382 pullback on a daily basis right here also, right? We just talked about it on the macro scale, average by just about like a 65, right, for the bulls. So not financial advice, right? So 9K for BTC, 20 cents for ADA. Let's see if we're gonna get it. 83 Madden is calling for 9K and 20 cents. We will see. Okay, make sure you get enough energy, right, to be able to wait for those prices, because it's going to be a long ride, right? So most people are gonna give up by then, before even we get to those levels, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at ADA again on a daily basis, right? So on a daily basis, in terms of like candles, we got a tweezer rejection right here on the daily, right below the daily 100 EMA and daily 21 EMA right here. So that's not good at all. The pink line you see right here, it is our 236 Fibonacci, and at the same time we got our 100 EMA support right there over the last like 2 months. Okay, we just broke below it, dump all the way down to $1. You guys remember $1.88, guys. It's been a tough support over the last few months. Okay, $1.88. So breaking below $1 could trigger a lot of momentum to the downside, especially after the weekly 21 EMA is already like bearish, right? Any momentum to the downside, right, could basically get stronger, okay, because of the weekly 21 weekly weekly MACD being bearish and price action looking to break below the weekly 21. It is not below the weekly 21 yet, but once we get a candle close below the weekly 21, just like BTC, after we close below the weekly 21, you guys know what happened, right? Ether closing below the weekly 21, right? You guys know what's going to happen, right? Potentially, more downside if that's the case, right? For ADA. So keep an eye on ADA. We're breaking major support right here, just about $1. Not breaking it, but we could break it over the next like a few weeks, and we could be looking for more support right here. Okay, resistance, once again we talk about it, 172, 178, right? Just to repeat it, breaking below 178 could basically shift the momentum, right, over the next like a few months. Right, somebody asking about 20k bounce, or 20k bounce, or 28k the bottom. I don't know about the bottom. Like, I think like best thing to do is just like focus on the trend instead of the bottom, because if you try to say if you try to catch the bottom, you're never gonna catch it. Okay, you're never gonna catch it. So unless you're lucky, okay, you gotta be very, very lucky to get the exact bottom. The high time frame, it is still bearish, so can't call 28 the bottom, right? We just have to say it is a support as of now, right? And after after a few days or a few weeks, if we do not break it, we could say, hey, that's a bottom and let's go to the moon, right? Because between the bottom and the top, it could be like a 5-10x. All right, so even if 28k is a bottom, let's say we jump in at 42, 43, or even 50k, and we're looking for 300k, I mean, it won't make a big difference. Okay, it's not like you're gonna miss the entire trend. Okay, so trying to catch the bottom, during a bear market, it could be very tough, because you just don't know if we're gonna break that support later on, right? So I would just say it is a temporary support as of now, right? Instead of calling it a bottom, because if you say a bottom, Moonboy is gonna be selling their bicycles and they're gonna be going all in, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Ether. Ether, once again, we talked about the weekly 100 EMA, right? Last week, before the dump down here, Ether was above like a 2300, right? So right now we like below, nearly below 1800, so that's not good at all. We got our weekly 100 EMA almost at 1000, but once again, we got a price support, just about like a 1350 right here. If we break it, we could definitely be shooting for like a 1000, right? So in order to basically reverse the trend, daily reversal, we're gonna need a daily reversal, right? Price action need to regain the daily 21. MACD has to basically flip bullish, right? And we're going to talk about potential resistance up to basically 3000 range. So Ether, it is right now in mid range, 3000 pump or 1000 pullback. So mid range, okay? So so let's see what we're gonna get, but gotta regain control of the daily 21, just about like a 2250. If that's the case, we could start looking for a push to the upside up to 3000. Okay, breaking below the 1720, 1650 support could take us much lower. Okay, volume, you know, on a daily basis not looking so great, unlike BTC on a 2-day basis volume is looking great. So but Ether is, you know, not looking so great on a daily basis, right? But it doesn't mean bulls cannot show up within the next few days, because just because, you know, volume been low over the last few days doesn't mean it's gonna be low over the next like a few days. It could shift. All right, so stay vigilant regarding Ether. You know, support 1350 and resistance, you know, just about like a 3000 max resistance, short-term resistance right here, 2250, 2250, 2350. So Bitcoin sideways at 30K. So guys, let me know what you think, right? Do you think like Ether gonna be pumping back up to like a 3000, or if Ether going to be dropping back down to the low 1000s, right? Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think. Cardano going to 0, say a crypto elf. No matter, say 0. Let's go back to BTC on a lower degree. Right here, I think last time we talked about the wave 1, right? And I think like Hank was asking regarding wave 1, but I was like, you can't just like call it a wave 1, because you just don't know how high it is gonna go right here. I think like we were just about like this range, right? And we talked about the 100 EMA resistance right there. It did retest the 100 EMA, rejected, pumped it upside, and still dumped below it. You know, we still don't have like a 5-wave structure. It looks like a 3-wave to me instead of a 5-wave, right? So but let's see what we're gonna get over the next like a few hours. Volume is decreasing right here, so it is kind of a little bit bearish, right? It is a bearish setup, a flat correction right here, so it looks like a continuation pattern, right? Could continue down to like a, you know, 2870, you know, 28780 right here, right? Or even like just about like a 29500, right there. So in terms of a 6-hour basis, 6-hour 100 EMA gave us a tough time, right? Right here. 6-hour 21 EMA broke out above it. Bulls started to, you know, FOMO, right? Could not get a candle open and close above it, right? So could not get a candle open and close above it. Got rejected and basically slide down. We did not close below the, you know, closing resistance, closing support right here. So that's a good news. Okay, if you take a look at it, like since like May 17th, we haven't seen a close below you know, below 31.5 and so on, right there, just about 31.1. okay, 31.1. But 50% of the week right here could be just about like a 29.5, right? As we just said, 29.5. Yeah, I mean, it is too early to you can't just you know, trying to count the first bounce. As I said, you have to wait till, you know, price action give you a you know, first bump and pull back to 0.618. Like right now, you could take a, you know, could basically just say, hey, that's my wave 1 right here. If you're bullish, okay, you could count it as wave 1, and as we said, right, wait for it to pull back to 0.618. That's exactly what we just got, 0.618 pullback, and you could speculate about a wave 3, okay? But you check your 1-hour time frame, right? No sign of a bullishness yet on a low degree, right? So remember, your hourly can be bullish, but your macro could be still bearish, right? So, but on the hourly right now, you got a small double bottom right here. All right, that's you got a small double bottom, no divergence. You got a bullish crossover right here. I would wait to regain at least the 21 EMA right on the hourly before, you know, I start like speculating about a reversal, because sometimes you can still hug it like slowly and even create a bullish divergence right here, but volatility could be so low right here, you're just gonna dump, right? That's also a possibility, right? But just watch the MACD and wait for price action to regain. I mean, most likely you're looking for a, you know, short-term trade. You're not looking for like a 100K and all that good stuff. So you're looking for probably like a you know, 5 to 6% move. That's what you're looking for, right? But you don't want to be looking for a 5 to 6% move and got a 5 to 6% move on the downside. You see what I'm saying? So you just want to be cautious. What's up, David? I mean, I don't trade the Wyckoff, right? But I'm familiar with this setup. You know, most traders call it Wyckoff, right? But I was trading this setup before even like you know, I knew what was Wyckoff, right? Back in you know, back in 2018, right? Right here. Okay, I was trading it right here and was calling for like all these crazy prices all the way up to 14K, right? Right here, you know, was Wyckoff pump all the way up to 14K. Right here we got a small, you know, reaccumulation, but we didn't use Wyckoff. We just say we're going to the moon. So yes, we got a Wyckoff potential setup, but I don't trade it, so I can just call it based on Wyckoff. You see what I'm saying? So I just have to call it based on you know, what I'm familiar with, right? Because I just don't want to like, you know, start like introducing like a new trading method and all that good stuff, and I'm gonna confuse myself and confuse my viewers, right, and all that good stuff. But one thing we can say, right, we 30K, it is a good support. Okay, could we get a better support? Yes, 25K, which is our monthly 21 EMA. That's pretty easy, because if you know, if we get a, you know, if we dump to the downside, right, and pick right back up, it is not going to be Wyckoff anymore, right? You know, because you broke the support area, I'm assuming, right? So, you know, that's why I want to be cautious and just stick with my setup and what we've been calling for since like BC was right here, right? We said monthly 21, right? So, but as of now, right, we are 30K, it is a good support. We're still above the 3 weeks 21 right here. We talk about it, guys. We said we could take forever to break below the 3 weeks 21. You see what I'm saying? So it is kind of tough for the bulls, right, to make a decision. Should I just stay or wait at 25K, right? Or just wait for 20K if you're really bearish, right? But we got a good, you know, confident support level, right? I would say bulls, not we, right? Bulls got a good confident support level right here, right there, right. So which is basically our monthly 21. So what I'm saying is, even if we break below the monthly 21, it could just be a temporary break, like maybe like a week or so break below it, because that's a monthly. So I don't think like if we're gonna break it, we're just gonna break it like for 1 second, right? So if we're gonna break extensively below it, we could break below it for like, you know, a few days and jump right back above it, right? So I would love to retest the monthly 21 before end of the month, because that's gonna help us a lot to fill the gap right here, because if we do not basically retest it right now, we have to fill the gap next month, and it is going to be very, very challenging, right? So we better go ahead and just do it right now and deal with it. So I mean, I would prefer, okay, if we just dump like to a 25k and be done with it. By July 1st we get a full body candle on the monthly for June, and July 1st we're going to open the candle right here just by like a 25 and pump right back up, kind of like what we got right here, right there. So the closer we close to the monthly 21, I think in my own opinion, the better it is. So we won't have to deal in July regarding a dump, right, and another pump right here. So if we just dump by July, right, we're just gonna deal with a pump in July that way, like that. Get a nice tweezer right here, pump right back up to like a 42 and so on. That's what I'm speculating, but who knows, okay? Yeah, thanks a lot, David. Yeah, sometimes the hardest thing is like being patient, especially on a macro view, like for instance, waiting for monthly 21 or waiting for weekly 100 EMA. Those are not for the newbies. Okay, newbies want to basically jump in on the hourly and get wrecked on the next hour, right? So, but if you're trading the macro view, sometimes it is very painful when market, you know, doesn't want to give you what you're looking for. But once you get it, you know, you're gonna be like, man, if I just basically jumped in too early, I would have got in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So it is always good to zoom out, right? So you know, pay attention to the macro view and all that good stuff, right? If you know, once we start being bullish, right, we're just gonna be bullish, right? But if we're not bullish, we just have to wait for supports, right? That's the best way to look at it, because price action gonna be bouncing back up from support, you know, all the time, okay, before they break it, right? So kind of like ADA. We just talked about ADA, you know, weekly 100 EMA, just about like a, you know, average, you know, 65. Weekly 100 EMA, just about like, I think 53, right? Let's go back. I don't want to. Monthly 21 EMA, just about like a 60 right there. So weekly 100 EMA, just about like a 52. So it is not easy. I talked about it when ADA was like, I think like one couple of weeks ago, right? When ADA was like 165, we already dropped all the way down to $1, right? So let's say I was trying to stay bullish right here and say, oh man, we're gonna go to the moon. Sucker already dumped 30%, and you're gonna like, man, look, I'm gonna wait for it to get back to like a 170, stuff like that. But you know, if bulls are patient enough, right? If we're going to be in a bear market, ADA going to take out the yearly low. Okay, the yearly low, it is almost at 20 what, like almost at 19 cents. It is either gonna retest it, could retest it. I'm not making a call for it right now. I want to focus on right here, you know, till we got some sort of validation before we talk about the yearly low. But keep an eye on the yearly low. That way you're not gonna be extremely bullish at, you know, 65. Okay, 65 going to be a short-term trade. Okay, a medium-term, short-term trade where we're gonna be looking for another swing. Okay, I mean, some people are gonna short it right here, meaning like they're gonna, you know, sell some of the ADAs and buy it back low. That's also shorting ADA, right? You don't have to leverage short it if you are reaccumulating ADA. Not financial advice, right? Because I don't want sucker to pump like to resistance right here, and bull's gonna be like, man, I sold my ADA at $1.30, $1.20. But we got resistance at 178. Hey, thanks a lot, David. Is it? Hey, what's up, Iceman, man? Iceman, where you been at, man? Iceman Moonboy. David is asking, is it a bearish divergence on a monthly basis for BTC? Let's go ahead and take a look at the macro view. It is not easy to find like a bearish divergence on the monthly. You probably mean like on the weekly, because remember, the higher the time frame, right, the harder it is to find a divergence, right? And sometimes you could get in trouble like that, like for instance, like Litecoin, we didn't get any divergence, right, on our MACD. I think it just dumped straight down. But I don't think you meant to say probably weekly. But on the monthly, we don't have any divergence, right? Everything is looking bullish, right? In terms of indicator. So you know what I mean, right? No divergence. So in order to get a divergence, we got to get this move back and don't break the top right here, and we're gonna break this top. That way, we're gonna say we got a monthly divergence, right? So it takes a lot to get a monthly divergence. It takes like years, okay? So, but let's take a look at it on the weekly. So if you take a look at it on the weekly, yes, you got a bearish divergence right here. We did have one, right? Even on the weekly, it wasn't that you know. Yeah, we got one right here, right? And you take a look at it on a 3-day basis, right? It looks even better, because you're gonna get both like on the RSI and MACD right there, okay? And basically, you know, the bearish divergence was basically confirmed with our price action being below our 21 EMA. Remember, guys, I said it a long time ago, and I'm gonna have to keep repeating it, right? When price action is below the your 3-day 21 MACD bearish, it is a bear trend. You just don't know how long it is gonna last. Okay, that's why when you know bears were calling for lower prices right here, right? Remember back in like November. Back in November, we talked about it. Bits was like 17, 18K. Bears were looking for like a 14, 13, right? We said, guys, let's just suck it up. Everything looking pretty good. No need to be worrying, okay? It's been a while since we got to search like a, you know, a strong bull trend. So we're not going to be like, you know, being bullish like from 11K, 13K and just getting out like a 17K. We already broke the macro resistance 10.5 on the 50-day cycle, so no need to be worrying, okay, because we got zero resistance. Okay, remember guys, when I was talking about zero resistance once we break above 10.5 on the 50-day cycle, right here. So technically, right, we're still in a very, very strong bearish downtrend till we basically flip the momentum, right? On the 3-day basis, we gotta regain control of the 21 EMA, and MACD has to flip positive. And once we get above the histogram, we're gonna get a very, very strong bull trend. Okay, and that it takes time to get all those setups to line up. Okay, it takes time, guys. It takes time to get all those setups to line up. From the 20K top to 60K top, no, it is not a divergence, right? We don't have any. From the 20K top, you mean on the RSI? Yeah, on the RSI, yes, you could call it now a divergence. The thing with this divergence is, right, you have to be very, very cautious, because until you get a rejection, you cannot call it a divergence. You see what I'm saying? Like, right here, you couldn't call it a divergence. Like for instance, let's say when price action was right here, right there, you could have called it a divergence right here, right? But you would have been getting out too early, like a 23K. and you're gonna miss the entire move up to 60K. That's why sometimes like I like to use the MACD, because once like MACD gives us a negative crossover, we start calling it a divergence, right? A good example is that, let's go ahead and take a look at it on the hourly. Right here. So if you take a look at it on the hourly right there, right, you know you got a divergence. You know, but you're not 100% sure, right? So you're gonna be like, what's going on, right? You got lower lows, right? And you got, I mean, lower highs, right? And you got higher highs right there, right? It is a divergence, but you couldn't call it right here, right? When BTC was at 35K, you couldn't say, you know, we're making a divergence. Yes, you could call it like we're making a divergence, but you're not sure because you don't have a bearish crossover yet. But once you basically come from your bearish crossover right there, right, you're gonna be like, okay, we got a bearish divergence with 90% chance, right, of going down, right? 90% is a lot, but you know what I mean, right? And once price action break below your 21 EMA, the yellow line, that going to increase what? Your confidence level. You're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna be dropping lower, right? So but if you only use the your RSI right here, you didn't get any. You're gonna be like, oh, we don't have any divergence. But you're gonna, you're just gonna trust your MACD, right? Both, your MACD was making a bearish divergence, and your histogram was also making a bearish divergence. So that gives you a stronger confidence. Both of your your signal line and your MACD was making a bearish divergence, and your histogram was also making a bearish divergence compared to price action, right? So that's the best way of looking at it. Always wait for the bearish crossover. Yeah, but just going back to your your question, right? On the RSI, yes, now you could say we got one, right? Yes, you could say you got one right here, which I mean, I already got a setup for it anyway right here. Right here. As of now, okay? As of now, right? Because we could still make something like that, right? Over the next like a few years, right? And price action can still keep on making like a highs, okay? And you're gonna get some sort of like a wedge. You don't see these type of setups on a monthly basis, but I'm just trying to give you something to to basically relate to, right? You find most of these type of setups like on the hourly and stuff like that, but on the monthly, or even daily, you don't find this type of, sometimes daily, yes, but the lower degree gives like a higher volatility. So you're welcome, David. So let's go ahead and take a look at the link on the higher time frame. So link got a nice bounce off of the monthly 21, just about like a 15.5. If you guys remember, we were talking about a link like a 15.5 before the dump right there. We said 15.5, and we could get a bounce back up, and I was looking for 23 and a half, but let's see if we're gonna get it right from the bounce of $23, from the $15 bounce, right? But we got almost like a 19.5, 19.8, something like that, right here. We pumped back up to like a 19.7 nearly. But let's go back on the monthly. Yeah, on a monthly basis, we got price support just about like a $8 to $12 next, trading range, and we will see if we're gonna find a good support to reverse, right? Because from the swing low to swing high, 382 going to be at $7 nearly, right? $6, $7. Not sure if we're gonna get it because we got a price support once again like a $9, right? 382 pullback was like a $14. That's where we got the the strong bounce over the last like few days and so on, right? So link, it is still looking pretty strong. Still need to break the monthly 21, right? In terms of trend lines, right? If you like trend line, you could be really bearish, saying, oh, we broke the monthly trend line. So that's very bearish, which is basically correct. Okay, no one gonna be like, oh, you ain't correct by saying like, link gonna be dropping lower. Yeah, I mean, if you draw it like that, it is kind of very tough to say. So could be very subjective, but let's see what we're gonna get over the next few weeks, right? If we break it, we know we got support right here. In order to be bullish, once again, we gotta take out the monthly close, 38, and basically start looking for like $50 and so on, right? What's up, Zappa? Could I check waves? Let's go ahead and check waves. So waves on a macro view, it is still above the monthly 21 also, right? Right there, right? Just about like a 7.5. I'm trying to get a good wave short, but the sucker is pretty volatile, so I think like we took a short on wave like when it was like a 27 down to like I think 25 down to like 18, 17, and last week, or I mean like this week, right, from like the 16, right, $16 down to like a 12.3, 12.6. So I took a nice short on it, but on a macro view, price support to look for right there, just by like a $6. That's going to be 382 if it is going to follow the altcoin pattern. We got our monthly 21 EMA just by like a $7. So I would say like $7 to $5 could be our next trading range on a monthly basis, right? If we could get there. On the bullish side, right, we got to take out the 23 right there. Okay, we got to take out the 23. Okay. So I think better be ready, right? Then sorry, right? Instead of basically, procrastinating. If we're gonna get to like $5 to $7, you just be ready. Okay. The worst case scenario is like, okay, I mean, if we pump to the upside, right, we could be looking for high prices like above all-time high, not all-time high, I think that's all-time high for waves, right? Could be looking for above all-time high, $50 and so on. But since like BTC is bearish, would be looking for the monthly 21 EMA. Yeah. Yeah, we got a nice trend line right here, just like this guy we just talked about, Link, right? I've seen a lot of people don't like, not a lot of people, but I saw somebody was talking about wave and was saying like people are still trading waves. I'm like, what this guy is talking about? This sucker is up like pumped like nearly 156%, right? Not 156%, 15,000% from the March lows. I don't even think like, you know, 88 pumped 15,000%. I think 88 did, right? 200,000, something like that. But it did well, okay? But gotta let it cool off if we're gonna be in a bear market, right? Of course, right? We always have to say if, because BTC it is still above 30K. We cannot say like you know, we're in a bear market. Once again, we got 40% chance to reverse the market, but who knows, right? Oh man, it looks pretty nice, man. Yeah, that's the candle that started everything right here. The 3 weeks candle. That's when bears started calling for 10K. Remember, guys, you have to be very clever. Some bears been calling for a bear market since November. Okay, since November they've been calling for a bear market. So of course, at some point they're gonna be right. If you're gonna be calling for a dump for like a 9 month, right? Of course, you know you're gonna be right at some point, right? Like for instance, if I'm gonna call for a bull market, at some point I'm gonna be right. I'm not saying we're gonna drop down here, but you get the point, right? Hey, what's up, amigo, Ami V? I'm new to crypto, trying to learn and start trading. Can I help? Yeah, yes, you can help. You can watch my live stream. You know, you can ask questions. But if you're new to crypto and you never trade, you don't have no experience trading, just learn how to trade first and hoping like we're gonna be in a bear market. That way you're gonna learn a lot, because bear market gonna give you like a very good like a it's gonna increase your your exposure to the market due to the low volatility. You're gonna see a lot of divergences and all that good stuff. You're gonna learn about your volume, moving averages, your MACD, your RSI, and all that good stuff. And once the bull market starts, all you do is just sit tight, relax, because you're gonna develop a good strategy where I don't need to trade a lot right now. I just need to trade the macro view, trade the higher time frame, right? And if I want to basically short-term trade, I can short-term trade. But you got to learn all of that, and it takes time. It's not like a 2 weeks learning, because emotion has to involve in your trading, regardless how good you are, right? You're still gonna get some emotion, some emotional reaction sometime, right? So just take your time and don't rush into like a trading. Don't rush it. Most of the time I tell people, trade the higher time frame, and unless you got enough time and you know exactly what you're doing, and you basically trade the lower time frame constantly, okay? But you're gonna get to a point where you don't never want to trade like every hour. You want to trade the just want to do some swings, right? But the takeaway is like, learn as much as possible before you you start going full time or whatever you want to do, right? I mean, being heavy on alt, I mean, it is not time to be heavy on alt. Gotta be, BTC dominance could be going up above 50% over the next few months. So gotta increase BTC holding. That way you can buy your alt cheaper, right? Jonah, can we take a look at H bar? Yeah, H bar, just like BTC, it is basically following BTC at the weekly 50 EMA. At the weekly 50 EMA right here, it is just following BTC. Okay, we broke out back in December right here, kind of look like quant BTC. Right now it is breaking out around like a 22,000, something like that. I think 22,000. I don't think it's 220,000 or 220,000. We will take a look at quant, right? So we got price support right there. That's a price support, right? In terms of a bull flag, you could still call it a bull flag, right? Right here with a wedge pattern. So if BTC is like to a reverse, quant could be one of the strongest alt on a weekly basis to give us a nice potential wedge reversal pattern. Okay, I'm not saying we're gonna break the top or anything like that, but all I'm saying is in terms of like a reversal, you know, we could get a nice pullback to a resistance, 34 cents, right? If BTC is to a breakout from the 30K support, right? Because it is following BTC, right? But high time frame support right here. If we take a look at it from the January lows, the range we're at right now, it is at 236 Fibonacci. The next range of support going to be at 382 Fibonacci at 10 cents. Okay, so I don't know how, I just don't know how the wedge pattern going to be playing out. Maybe Robin can draw it for us, but if like we're gonna follow the wedge pattern, we could get there by like a September, right? Just speculate. Okay, it could be a week too, right? So primary support 10 cents right here. Okay, that's going, and we got a price support right here also, right? The previous breakout. Nice volume on the upside. So just keep an eye on it right here. If we break out right here, I would just start taking profit. If you didn't basically take profits, like let's say we get the move right here at any given time, right? We could get this move. If it is strong enough, sucker could retest the top, but we will see. Okay, we will see. One thing you could also do is, like, if you're patient enough, just suck it up, right, and wait for the macro trend line support, which is, you know, which is the same thing we just said, right, regarding the 50% pullback right here at the previous bull resistance right here. So it looks good in terms of like a weekly resistance and all that good stuff and support, right? Yeah, right there, man. Let's see what we're gonna get, right? But a good buy right here, a great buy actually right there. 5 to 6 cents, a good buy at 10 cents, a good sell at 33. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's go back to I don't see anything pumping right now. Kava pumping a little bit. Kusama. Let's take a look at Kusama. Yeah, Kusama right here, right? That was our previous setup. I think we done with it, right? But just to give you a good example regarding divergences and all that good stuff, right? a very good example is right here. Okay, our Kusama premium setup, right? Kusama premium setup, we basically notice the bearish divergence right here. Right, we notice the bearish divergence right here. Okay, right, you know, price action was what making high highs, MACD lower lows, lower highs, right? Broke the we even shorted it like even before we broke, we went negative right here. Okay, right here 460. Okay, this one was kind of aggressive, right? Because we didn't break the you know, signal line right here. We didn't cross negative, and price action was not below the 21. But sometimes you get away with it, right? But just have to be very cautious if you trading it on the hourly basis, right? Because hourly, you know, it moves like very fast, right? So right here, bearish divergence drop down to the support trend line. We talked about support trend line regarding H bar, right? So right here we said we're going to drop down to like a 410 and so on, and after that we're going to drop down to like a 340. But take a look at it where we are right now, almost at 180. We dropped all the way down to 180, and we were bearish at when it was like almost 460. So sucker dropped 63% after we started being bearish on it. Okay, so sometimes you just have to focus on the high time frame. Right now it is a good time to start like speculating on it and watching it. I'm still watching it, right? So I'm watching it right now, but don't have a strong bullish setup. That's a bullish setup, but we still need to get above the 21, right? And that's a good level to start like speculating on it, right? But let's clean the chart and get another setup. So yeah, that's a good level to start like watching it right here. If we can regain the daily 21 right there, I mean 6 hour 21, we could be going back up to the 6 hour 100 EMA, up to basically $300 right there. Remember 340 was our where we got out at, right? So right there. But gotta regain control of the 6 hour 21 right here, and we could get a nice ride right there. Potentially a 40% move potentially, right? Above the from above the 6 hour 21. But bulls could basically suck it up, and I wouldn't call for a push right now, but and call for a 70% move, right? The reason why, you know, I'm not saying like it could do it now, just have to wait for the weekly to close, right? See how we're going to close the week. If we can close the weekly candle above the 6 hour 21 EMA, right, that's going to be nice, because 6 hour 21 EMA just about like what, 217. Right here, that's going to give us a halfway close through the previous weekly candle, right? I mean, not previous, but the current weekly. If we can close right here, it means like if we get a short-term dump on the, you know, you know, if we get a short-term dump next week, that could just be to retest the lows right here before the next retest right there. But we will see. It is pretty engulfing. You don't have a strong bullish MACD right here, right? MACD already below the it is already negative, and we just got our negative momentum on our 21 EMA, right? Basically what I'm just saying regarding ADA, right? MACD is negative, but ADA doesn't want to break below the 21. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same type of setup. It was a strong divergence right here. So but let's see if we do not get a short-term bullish you know, divergence on the 6 hour, right? We could be looking for 50% pullback down to like a 115, and 0.618 pullback 78. So we're going to be looking for the move down here if we do not, you know, we don't get a bullish divergence or like a price action start to trade above the 6 hour 21 and all that good stuff. We could suck it up and just react, you know, look for a long position at, you know, $80, give or take, right? Yeah, so keep an eye on Kusama, man. So let's go ahead and take a look at Monero. We talked about Monero before the dump. And I told you why I shorted Monero, right? Because Robin was so bullish on Monero. So Monero, same thing. Robin wasn't watching the weekly. He was just focused on the hourly, and you know, MACD was already negative, right? Price action could not break above the 21. I wasn't even like analyzing Monero on on the weekly, but after, you know, you look back, you were like, okay, even though I was, you know, bearish on it on the 6 hour and all that good stuff, the weekly, you know, could have basically just come from my bearishness, right? And it sucker dump all the way down to like 180 from like nearly 285 resistance, right? And we discussed Monero live, Monero waves, right? And all that good stuff. Why sucker gonna basically dump, right? We're not quite yet at the 100 EMA, 147. So the 50% pullback going to be at 112 over the next like a few weeks. 0.618 going to be at 76. Okay, and both of these Fibonacci levels, right? They add some great. I mean, we can, you know, we can say like this area, it is also a great you know, support level in terms of price, and that level also, right? But that's going to be down the road. We're just going to focus on the 160 right here, and after that we're going to focus on the right here, right? I would just say right here, if we can get some price action right here, right, we could start like looking for a reversal, short-term reversal, right? Not a bullish reversal. We got something similar back then right here also, right, where we could not break above the 21, and then we dump hard, right? Dump hard and just, you know, getting some rejection from the 21. And on the 6 hour, let's see, yeah, on the 6 hour we got some good stuff on the 6 hour in terms of bullishness. Yeah, I gotta take control of the 21 EMA, right? We got this move. Gotta take control of the 21 EMA, and we're gonna, you know, say, hey, we could try to get to our 6 hour 100 EMA. So a potential long position could be around like 216, above 216, and up to basically 250 potentially, right? That's going to be a, you know, just about 13 to a 16%, right? Depending where you enter that. Yes, it could be a three-way move, right? Like that, right? Just like the three-way move we got right here. Okay, and that's how we broke it down also, right? If you didn't watch that live stream, okay, the head and shoulder, the trend line support, right, and all that good stuff, the flat correction to the left, the you know, triangular formation, you know, just about this range, these two moving averages rejecting, you know, each other's, right, repelling. So everything was pretty bearish, right? So all right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. So thanks. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it a day, guys. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.